get started, let me first welcome everybody back. It's great to see a room full of people. Last time we did this was back in May when we all gathered for commencement. So good to have everybody back on campus. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on all over campus. You see the construction work going on out here with putting in new handicap sidewalks heading into the EDRC. Further construction projects that'll be starting later this semester are the remainder of the driveways going around campus, outside of Building A, and then the basketball courts and the tennis/pickleball courts that will be going in right out here, right next door. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of movement, and it's just a busy time. And so we look forward to welcoming everybody back. And you guys are going to be enthralled with the first presenter because a lot of stuff going on in his world as well. And Doug reminded me that, you know, some of the presenters we had on campus today, these are our own folks. These are our own experts in the field, and it's really neat to have them presenting on their fields, their expertise, and really helping us move the campus forward. And Wayne has had his hands full over the last 2 or 3 weeks. If you hadn't heard, we had a shutdown on campus for about 9 or 10 days, trying to figure out how to navigate everything. And so many people on campus did such a great job of navigating that with our students, working with each other, and we finally got back up and running. So great work by Wayne, his team, and everybody else who had a hand in that. So, Wayne, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Thanks, Wayne.
Everybody hear me okay? Sometimes I don't think I even need that, but a little bit closer. Closer? Better? Yes. Okay. So, the main topic I want to talk about is 365, OneDrive, and all the products we have available. But before we get there, got everybody, captive audience, cannot miss talking, or the opportunity to talk about cybersecurity. So everybody's seen the emails that have been coming around about password changes, and you know, we updated a couple more characters. So I want to make you aware of what kind of triggered that. This is a screenshot that Henry took this weekend, Saturday night, of the firewall logs. We were troubleshooting an issue with a user that couldn't connect to the firewall. It had nothing to do with this really, but of course when you're troubleshooting those kinds of issues, you go to the logs to see what's wrong. And he didn't even see that user's login failure, but he saw all of this. Little digging, this has been going on since the 9th, August 9th. Let me get some notes up here. And these attempts are happening about every 15 seconds on average. Sometimes less than 5 seconds between attempts, sometimes a little more. So what's happening here is this is an automated attack. And what's difficult about it, and you can see in the screenshot here on the right-hand side, that username was Critter002. That's following our naming convention. That could be C. Ritter. That probably is an account at Terra. And this is a screenshot. I'm not logged in the firewall here, so I can't show you, but as if I was to click on each one of those, it's a different user. That's not so bad. What makes it really bad, and you don't see it in the screenshot, every single attempt is from a different IP address. The IP address is what we use to block this kind of stuff, or the domain that it's coming from. So we've got an agreement with CyberForce. They help us with our phishing right now, and more to come on that in the coming few months as we set up a SIM that will actually catch this as soon as it starts happening and notify us. because the software and the systems to do that were very expensive, and they have to be manned by cybersecurity personnel. So we've been a long time getting there, but the reason I want to talk about this is still going on today. It's been going on since the 90s. These are valid credentials at some point in time. They're stolen credential lists. This is a computer out on the internet somewhere using VPN connections and just hitting our firewall. It's probably related to the phishing events we've had in the past where they've compromised some accounts, grabbed some address books. They have some of the usernames. Now, it's not just our usernames. There's others in here. There's a lot of random ones. Some of them are nonsense words, but they're just trying to get in. All it's going to take is one valid credential set, and then they're past the first step. Then they got to get past the MFA that's on the firewall, but they're halfway there. And if they get past that second step, game over. They're on our network. So I say this and I show this to emphasize the importance and the severity of those messages we've been sending out. I know passwords are a pain in the you-know-what. I hate them too. Can't remember them. I mean, we all struggle with that. So I want to go over a few of those things that went out in that email. The big one, the main one, the one that gets most people into trouble is reusing a password across a different site. So they may have stolen your Gmail credentials in some hack somewhere, but if you use that same password over here on Terra, guess what? They've got your password, because they will spray these password logins across all the different sites. Banks, credit unions, you name it. So if you're somebody that reuses a password, and you get compromised on one thing like email, which is, okay, pain in the butt, but not a lot of damage done. But then they use that to get into your bank and drain your bank account. Or maybe they get into Terra's network. So if you are one of those, I strongly urge you to change that habit. It's the worst habit you can have. Another bad one is having a really good password followed by 2 digits at the end. And your password changes, you increment those 2 digits up by 1. People do it. I'm sure there's somebody here that does that. I won't call anybody out. I don't know who you are anyway, so I don't know your passwords. I can't see them. But if they see a password like that, they're smart. Hackers are smart. They will sit there and they'll have program doing this to increment that number and try different variations of it. I already told you how fast they're hitting this, and that's actually slow. Think about a computer and how fast they could try these logins. But if they do them too fast, then it overwhelms the site, and then we're going to know that it's happening, and then we can work to take steps to block it. But now that we know, and Cyberforce is working, Henry had a meeting yesterday, they're going to meet again today, I think. They're working on trying to figure out if there's a way to do this. Honestly, there may not be a way. It may just have to run its course and be done. This stuff happens all the time on the internet. And once in a while, they get lucky and they get in. So the best password you can use will be one that you can't remember. Most of my passwords are in excess of 20 characters, and they are 100% random. I have a password generator that generates those passwords. I couldn't tell you most of my passwords today. I remember 2. Terra, to get logged in here, and my password manager. And those 2 are not just a couple of words. They're a phrase. So I get, and I put this in one of the emails that went out. The best way you can do a password is do a passphrase. And I know you've heard that before. But don't make a passphrase that makes sense. Pick random words that mean something to you that you can remember, but that are not related to each other. And string them together and throw in some special characters and throw in some upper, lowercase, and don't use proper capitalization. Use something on, capitalize 2 letters in the middle of the word or something. Do something odd, something out of the ordinary. It makes it harder for them to guess the password. And make sure you throw some numbers in there. But that's the best password you can have. And if you have a lot of sites where you use passwords, whether it's through Terra, work, banking, whatever, get a password manager. And if you don't want to spend money on a password manager, set up an Excel spreadsheet and password protect it. Because I guarantee if you lose that password, nobody's getting your passwords. Those things, you can't get past them very easily. So do something. Again, it's right there. I can't say more than what that should say right there on that screen. Since the 9th, still going on. With valid credentials. Probably most of them are past credentials. We have that requirement. You have to change every 6 months. So, questions, comments? Okay, now that I've scared everybody, let's get on to what we're really here for. Oh, one more thing about the phishing. Something happened literally as we're getting ready for this. Kelly told me that Corey reported or asked her about a phishing email that he got to see if it was legitimate. Let me get my email open here. There it is. So this one, honestly, is not a really good phishing email. It's credential harvesting. It's trying to get you to open one of those and go out to this site and log in with your credentials. And if you do, guess what? If it's the same person that's hacking our firewall, they're in. So why I want to show this one, though, is the timing of it. What's it talking about? Complete without delay, it's one that, but it didn't show in here. Okay. There was mention in there about a meeting, Terra meeting. I think there were a couple different ones. This is not that one, but what are we doing right now? The whole campus is meeting in a room, and this email comes back, and you get back to your desk, and it's sitting there waiting for you. Are you going to really stop and think about it, or are you just going to click? Not this one, unfortunately. I grabbed the wrong one in a hurry. I was doing. But pay attention to phishing. If you are not expecting it, question it. And don't reply if you think it's coming from another Terra person and ask them if they sent this. Because you're not replying to them, you might be replying to somebody else. And of course they're going to say yes. And the other thing I want to let everybody know, this report to Sophos button that is in Outlook is not working right now. We're aware of it, we just don't have time to deal with it and try to figure it out. What we want everybody to do anyways is to forward the email to phishing@terra.edu. Because right now when you do that, and I don't care what time of the day it is, that is also sent to Cyberforce and they are reacting. There have been times in the past few weeks where phishing emails have come out overnight. They've gotten on there and they have dealt with them, or called me at 2:30 in the morning and I dealt with them, or Henry, and we have gotten those calls. So that when you come in the morning, it's not sitting in your inbox for to trick you into doing it. So those are some of the things that we're trying to do. But if you get one, I don't care if you think somebody else reported it, report it anyways. I don't care if 50 people report the same one. It's going to ensure that it gets reported and dealt with, because honestly, I don't get most of these. IT doesn't get most of these. Because they know that if they send them to us, that's just alerting us that there's an issue to deal with. They're sending them to you and hoping you don't send them to us. So remember, not the Sophos button, phishing@terra.edu. Okay, so now we will go on to 365. So I'm going to start with community site. This is SharePoint. When everybody's talking about SharePoint, this is, I hear people referring to it both ways, SharePoint or community site. But this is in the cloud. It is not on-prem.